And with this episode, Yusaku joins the club of duelists who summon synchro dragons that look like frickin' jumbo jets. Yeah, seriously, people, am I the only one who's noticed this? Why are so many synchro dragons based on airplanes? Shooting Star Dragon, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Like, really, I should feel like I should be in awe of the power of these things, not wondering if they're gonna land on time. But anyways, this episode was interesting because I liked the fact that it really built on the philosophy that's been brought up for the past few episodes and brought it down to the level of our characters, or at least the characters we care about. And that is that we really talked about how the focus was Ai's individuality. It was his personality. It was his abrasive nature. It was the fact that he's different from everyone else. But it wasn't the typical, oh, he's different, we must destroy him. It was, no. Lightning understands that the fact that Ai is different from them, the fact that he had a personality and a rebellious nature and a desire to do his own things, actually helped the Ignises. It's what really convinced them to develop their own personalities and really have wants and build Cyber's world. This is a very unique way to go about it, because a lot of times in science fiction, it is just the evil computer or evil artificial intelligence that notices one of its own is different. It's always they just want to destroy him. But here, Lightning feels there's a place for Ai in his new world. He believes that having a sense of individuality and uniqueness is important for a society and for its people. But the great sort of defeating factor here is that it makes you wonder, well, is it still possible then to have absolute control like he wants? Is it even possible for uniqueness and creativity and that desire to be yourself to grow when even if you try and allow it, you're still forcing it under your control? It's a very nice little thing to think about, and I am glad that the show kind of leaves it up to you to think about if it's good or bad or what's really going on here. And I think that's a very neat aspect to go through. It is cool that so much of Ai's character is just based on the fact that he is unique and different from everyone else in the show, and I think that's a really cool thing, and it really makes him great. It makes Yusaku suck as a character, but it's cool. And if you wanted to make the argument and expand it to Yusaku, I could totally see, maybe in the same way that because Ai was different and he stepped up for his own wants, that's what makes him the best. And in the same way, Yusaku also did that amongst the other Lost Incident victims and actually started taking an active process for revenge. I don't know if that's intended or not, or maybe that's me reading into it, but I thought it was sort of a interesting little idea brought up in this episode. Then we move on to the rest of the duel, which was okay, I guess. This one was, I kind of made a downward turn. It was still kind of fun, but, I mean, the whole Link Kuriboh thing was fun, but when you get into what Bowman's Link monster, the Link 4 did, I'm like, a dice roll. Are we really doing a dice roll? Why the hell are we doing a dice roll? Why can't it just be once per turn during either player's turn, declare a card attribute, and if you get it, and blow everything with that attribute up? Is that really that overpowered? Considering the fact that he got the effect right both times, I feel like it's not. And yeah, he had that scene where he's like, oh, well, the randomness and luck has something to do with whatever. I don't really care. It just didn't really do anything. Like, it seemed ridiculous, and considering the fact that so much of Lightning's plan depends on Bowman, I feel like sort of letting him be someone who leaves it up to chance like that is kind of stupid. And then at the end there, where Bowman is like, no, I'll save my effect, I want to see what he does. Dude, you have a world to take over. You don't have time to play with this weirdo. Get this over with, win the duel, and be done with it. So in my head, I'm choosing to believe that he actually got the attribute wrong in the dice roll, and that's how Yusaku was able to get the duel to where it went to. And when the Synchro Dragon summoned, don't get me wrong, I really like this thing. I think it looks really cool, the effect is really neat. It's a cool card, I just kind of like making fun of the fact that they all look like planes. The attack is cool, the effect is cool, but Bowman's just like, behold, a trap that makes a tie. Like, every time ties are used in Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just a plot convenience. It's just basically like shorthand so that way the writers don't really have to like resolve anything. Like, look at every time a tie is used in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's always in a situation like this where it's, well, he can't die and he can't die. Here we go. And it's sort of annoying because now that means we get to face Bowman a fourth time. And I think realistically when we see Bowman next, there's probably going to be more to it than his programming is complete. I think there's the very real possibility we'll see him fuse with Windy or Lightning or something bad is going to happen next. But we can't see this guy again because I'm going to be straight up honest. All these duels with him are starting to feel a little samey. He just keeps summoning Link 1s until he summons a new boss monster that's just kind of forgettable. And then we end off the episode, which what I thought was a pretty neat little scene. Revolver showing up in person. First up, I like that he just shows up. It's not, meet me in a dark alley behind the theater where Bruce Wayne's parents died or something like that. It's just a very simple, I know where you are most of the time. I can find you whenever. It also gives Revolver a level of power over Yusaku in the sense that Yusaku doesn't know where Revolver currently is. Yeah, he could go back to Revolver's mansion, but he doesn't know he's there. He doesn't know where Revolver is, but Revolver will always know where Yusaku is. And that's kind of creepy. Like, Revolver just has all the power in the situation, and it is a very good way of establishing his level of strength. However, I do like that he hands Yusaku a program to keep his butt safe. Just sort of like, look, I need you right now, so here you are. I mean, I did have a weird moment where I'm like, oh yeah, why didn't Lightning just attack all of them? Like, just get Yusaku over with. Yusaku's a skinny idiot. Like, there's no way he could actually survive being physically attacked by somebody. But, I mean, to be fair, I didn't think of that till this point either, so I guess it's fine. And then we have that last little scene which made me laugh where Revolver's like, once this is over, we'll resolve things between us. I'm sitting there like, if I'm Yusaku in that situation, I'm going to be like, bitch, I beat you twice. I won the match. Like, what any right do you have to say we haven't resolved things? I won things. If you want another round, you enter locals, goddammit. This is getting weirdly personal. But all in all, I like this episode. I like the philosophical elements. I hope now that we're not switching gears a little bit for another storyline thing, it doesn't go away. I mean, we're meeting the Water Ignis next week, so I hope things will stay on track that we've been going. Though seeing the return of a certain goateed, roided out muscle man kind of worries me considering what they've done with said roided out muscle man up till this point. It's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll see where this goes. Again, I love how in the episode preview Yusaku's like, could it be? Like how he was where he couldn't tell who frickin' Blue Girl was. More proof Yusaku's an idiot in my eyes. But tell me what you think in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts on this episode. Do you like the philosophical elements? Did you like the dual elements? Does ending things in ties just so we don't have to have anything permanent happen okay with you? And as for the TCG question of the week, Soul Fusion is here this Friday. AKA, do you just want to try out Thunder Dragons? And do you want to try out Thunder Dragons? Because it's going to be an obnoxiously expensive deck. Like, for a deck that's going to be tier 2, they really blinged the shit out of this. Same with Danger, and Danger is by far even worse than Thunder Dragons. But then they let things like the Dino Wrestler, who, like, is basically a Cyber Dragon thing, that guy gets to just be a common? Like, I don't know, the rarities in this set seem really weird. Like, Konami seems to really think we care about Danger. So does that turn you away from wanting to invest in the set? Because it kind of does for me. Like, if a deck's gonna, like, I wanted to build Sky Striker before it came out, but when I saw those prices, I'm like, we'll try Goki out. But what do you think? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on Soul Fusion. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week when it's the return of the goateed Muscle Man.